Today I'm going to show you how I made a wood shelf with power tools for my coffee bar. My name is Leah and this is Junkerknicker DIY, where I bring you new budget decor videos every week. Here on my channel you'll see things like thrift flips, Dollar Tree DIYs, and trash to treasure projects. I also occasionally share haul videos. Today's video is part of the Power Up Collab that's hosted by Crafts Unleashed by Robin every month. Her co-host this month is Zana from OK at Home DIY. There are links in the descriptions below to take you to Robin and Zana's channel and this Power Up Collab playlist. I hope you'll check those out. Now this is the top of a hutch. It was bought separately from said hutch, never exactly matched right, and now it's sitting in the craft room collecting junk and a lot of dust. So here's what I'm doing. I'm cutting the top shelf off of that hutch to use as a shelf for the coffee bar. So I measured out where I needed to be, made sure it was square, started out with the jigsaw, and I had to switch over because the blade fell out of the jigsaw, and me not knowing the proper way to put it back in, I swapped out to the skill saw. I have to say it went much quicker with that. Should have started with it. But I did have a little bit of splintering that I'm going to be sanding down. And another thing that happened was I got a little bit into the wood of the shelf itself in a couple of places here. But I'm going to sand that all down using my hand sander. Is that what it's called? Palm sander. That's it. Using 220 grit sandpaper. And then I wiped it all down and started layering brown and black spray paints on there. I'm just going at it with some brown, then swapping over and going with black, so on, so forth, mixing back and forth. This is how it's looking after layering on paints. I know it's kind of blotchy right now, but it's going to get better. Still, even though it's blotchy, it's a far cry from that honey oak that it was before. And it's on its way to matching my table and other shelf that I'm using in that area. Now here I've brought it inside because it's raining outside, and I'm just using some more 220 grit sandpaper, kind of faking the wood grain because it's really not showing up here. I don't know if somebody just used a ton of polyurethane or what was happening, but anyway, this is giving it a good distressed look. Like I said, faking the wood grain and making it match everything better. Now I've got it flipped over to the back so I can remove those staples that was holding on the backer board before. Just the staples that are sticking out. The ones that are flush with the wood I don't have to worry about. But anyway, I am not going to be using that same backer board because it has lines running through it, kind of textured like, and I'm going to put in this piece of wood that actually was a curbside find, free to me. And why I wanted a smooth piece of wood is because I'm going to paint with chalkboard paint if I ever find it. But right now I'm using this $5 chop saw that's rusty and no blade guard, flirting with a disaster. Whee! Now, back in the house with this piece of board. I'm going to paint this with some apple barrel acrylic paint, color black, just to give it the look that I want to eventually have with it painted with chalkboard paint. And boy, did I make a wonky mess of that with the skill saw, cutting it lengthwise. I don't know what was going on. The blade kept getting hung up in the wood, and yeah, but anyway, I got it, and it's not going to be showing because it's on the back. So I did decide to do 2 coats on that because the first one that I put on was really streaky, and is gonna be primer and base coat for the chalk paint. Let me ask you, where do y'all buy chalk paint? I didn't find chalkboard paint at Walmart, $2 Generals, and $3 Trees. Take that back. I found chalkboard paint at one of the Dollar Generals, but it was blue. Anyway, leave me a comment below and let me know where you buy yours. Because if I go to Hobby Lobby, I'm coming out with a lot more than just chalkboard paint. Just telling you. So here I've got it flipped over and I'm testing my piece of wood, and it fits like a glove. So much so I had to use my rubber mallet on one end to just tap it in. And it fits up right where I wanted it to. And if you'll notice, I didn't leave the backer board the full length of this shelf this time. It really wasn't necessary. Screwing it on with some screws, and here I'm using the cordless drill just to make some pilot holes, and then I'll come back in and put the screws in. I just did 3 across the top, one in the middle, 1 on each side. Boy, I just barely got that end. I had to slant the screw slightly upward when I was putting it in with the cordless screwdriver. Now here is some hooks that I picked up from Walmart. I believe it was $5 or $6 for these 3 double hooks. They're called coat hooks. They're going to be cup hooks. And same thing I did before. I'm going to show you that I'm using the power drill, power screwdriver, cordless, I should say. And I'm centering those outside hooks on the 6-inch mark. And then I'm going to just eyeball the third one, put it right in the middle. So, yep, here we go. The reason I was dead set on making another shelf for the coffee bar is because the one in the middle is too small. I wanted one that's more of the length of the table and the shelf above it. And this one also is a little bit deeper so I can put more crap on it. Here I've cleared everything off the shelf that I'm replacing, and you can see how odd it looks. It's so mismatched, not just color wise, but size wise. Yep. That's my old beat up table. I love it. I wouldn't paint it for nothing. Well, not right now anyway. Yep, that was the look that I was trying to get with mixing the paints on the shelf. The only thing to do now is to get it hung on the wall. And since the cat doesn't have thumbs, I'll have to wait till someone's over here that can help me get the shelf up. And here I'm seeing a lot of places that I need to touch up, but that can all be done while it's hanging on the wall. No biggie. Only thing that you could take away from today's video from me is use what you have. I needed something. I used something that I already had and changed it around to fit what I need. Yep, something like that. Remember to go watch that playlist. I'm sure that these other ladies had much more success with their power tools than I did. Until next time, bye-bye.